Max, do an intro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tin Maxx. I am Max, and this guy over here is Tin, and we're back. And today we are going to be talking about the 2024 Game Awards and giving kind of what our thoughts are. We, of course, are the experts in the area, and that's why you're here, is because we know everything. And so that's why we're going to talk about our opinions. So to start off, we're talking about the best game of the year. That's right. We're just going right into it. 10.
Yep. But
Out of the nominees here, let me read off the nominees real quick. We got Astrobot, little PlayStation 5 robot himself. Balatro, which I'm sure I just said wrong. Black Myth Wukong.
Haven't played it.
Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Haven't played it.
Shadow of the Turd Tree, more like. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then Metaphor Refantasio. Thoughts?
That was terrible.
I'm not a dad yet, but eventually I will be, and then that will be great that I say dad jokes like that.
It will retroactively make your bad jokes better.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's what becoming a dad is. You should know this. You're already there.
That didn't happen for me. I got gypped, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I was always funny. That was the problem. Out of these, it's easily Metaphor Refantasio. Like not even anyone if you've been watching the channel, you already know that.
Yeah, but Astrobot, man.
It looks legitimately fun.
Yeah.
And I do want to play it.
I saw you talk about it in the 2024 games you played, that you talked about how you wanted to play Astrobot.
It was one of the ones I wanted to play, but I missed out on.
It actually, from what I've seen of it, it's actually pretty amazing. Yes, that is yours. Yes. It looks like it actually has a lot into it, but I mean, I'm not kidding anyone. Metaphor Refantasio, for sure.
Because you've played it.
Because I've
and
watched many videos on it.
Watched at least one, I would hope.
Yep. Alrighty.
But to be fair, Rebirth also just very impressive in terms of like scope and scale and just what a good game. It is really good.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the fun thing about doing like the Game Awards like this is always to be able to look at games that honestly were rated high. And if you haven't played it, look into it. But Metaphor Refantasio is definitely the number one on my list, personally.
Okay. What we'll also do for each of these, what do you think will win? We'll do what we want to win and what we think will win. I
think Elden Ring probably will.
I don't know, because there was a lot of talk when when the nominees were first announced that people were kind of annoyed. Some people were annoyed that Elden Ring is basically being nominated again for an expansion pass as Game of the Year.
Sure.
And I brought in the whole conversation of whether or not DLC should. I don't care.
Yeah.
I could see it, but I also do think Final Fantasy Rebirth has a big shot.
A remake? Do you really think? I know it's a very expensive remake, and I'm not trying to argue against any fan out there that says it is a new game. But is it a new game?
I think it's. Besides Elden Ring, Metaphor I would hope would win, and I think Atlas Games have been put in the spotlight more than ever before. So I think like Persona 5 almost like won or could have won the year it came out, and I think Metaphor also has a chance. But I think Final Fantasy has the biggest fan base, and Final Fantasy 7, the original, is such a fundamental game within the medium that like it's Rebirth is going to be the most. I guess maybe the fact that it's a PS5 exclusive could limit that, but I don't know. I think it's I don't know. Okay, you're saying Elden Ring, I'm saying Rebirth.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring will win just because of it is an Elden Ring,
because it's a FromSoft game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but if Metaphor did win, it'd be a great leeway for Atlas to be able to announce Persona 6. So, again, here's
we might throw in some talk about what we think might get announced. I'm hoping for Persona 6 and something Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Anything else, I don't care.
We'll see. Okay, next category that we're going to talk about is the best game direction. We got literally the exact same games.
Yeah.
In here. It is the exact same list. This one, I think Astrobot is going to win. The reason I say that is if you've watched anything on the new Astrobot game, they put a lot of mechanics into it. A lot of new things with the controller, as well as they made it like a fun game. I mean, a fun enough game where it's up for game of the year. So I really think
as a platformer too.
yeah. So and again, I think there's a difference when we're talking about, at least in my opinion, there should be a difference when we're talking about game of the year versus best game direction. I think Astrobot should be the winner for this one. Any thoughts at all on this section or category?
This might end up sounding like a broken record, but Metaphor.
Yeah. Okay.
And part of it is, I think, the director of Metaphor also directed Persona 3, 4, 5, and SMT Nocturne. I think the Oscars do this a lot. Well, they'll give an actor an Oscar or a director or whatever for like a movie or a role that was like good but not their best. But because they've been such a force in the industry for so long, they're like, here, you deserve one at this point. We'll just give you this one.
Sure.
I think something similar like that could happen here, where he's done enough within especially the RPG genre. Like Persona is a force to be reckoned with. And 3, 4, 5, I haven't played the first two. Those are the best ones.
Yeah. What was that?
And I think it could almost like serve as like a lifetime achievement award for his name that I don't know right now.
Sure.
But also like kind of in a similar vein to what you were talking about with Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has a lot going on, and it executes it well.
Yeah.
So I think if we're talking like just straight up direction, like what deserves it the most, I'd probably say, and keep in mind I haven't played the other ones. Rebirth, I think, deserves it just for how much there is to it, how much was added to it, all the different, like you said, mechanics, the way they keep it all interesting. It's good.
Yeah, 100%. I could definitely see that, especially with like watching your video on talking about a little bit about Final Fantasy and how much they expanded already on it. The thing
it'd be
up there to watch it right there.
I don't know how relativity works.
Somewhere.
Okay, so I want Metaphor to win. I think Final Fantasy is going to win. You think Astrobot's going to win? What do you want to win?
I mean, I would want Metaphor, but the hard thing is I need to play the game.
You need to play any game.
Yeah. But I think Astrobot is going to win. I have a gut feeling on that one. Again, you definitely be
Astrobot
wrong,
could have like the most like mainstream appeal because of just the nature of what it is. And
well, and again, best game direction in my opinion is different than best game of the year. Yeah. So we'll see if that's how they do it. So find out. Okay. I'm guessing we're good to go to the next category.
Yeah.
Okay. So next category is best narrative. We have Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, the newest saga, Hellblade 2.
Let us know in the comments if you pronounced that one right.
I'm sure I didn't. And Silent Hill 2, which, by the way, like if I say anything incorrectly, it's not on purpose. I apologize.
Yeah, you definitely mispronounced silent there. So
you said I mispronounced Silent Hill?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Anyway.
Okay, best narrative. What do you think is going to win, and what do you think should win?
Okay, this might be a little controversial. Silent Hill 2 has a great narrative. I don't think it deserves this because it's the narrative of the original.
Okay.
Like, there are added elements and whatever, but almost beat by beat, it is the same story as the original game.
Yep.
So, like, I don't know if it really deserves an award for just kind of doing the same thing again.
Could you say the same thing
even
about
if it's good?
Could you say the same thing about Final Fantasy VII then?
Yeah, kind of. I think it does a much better job than Silent Hill 2 of differentiating itself, adding to it, expanding. It's the middle part of the original Final Fantasy VII that was like the first Final Fantasy VII remake was like 40 hours, and it was like the first 4 or 5 hours of the first game, the original game. This is like the next like 5-10 hours of the game, but like blown out to 100-hour game experience. So there's a lot added to it. So I think the argument could be made.
Yep.
My argument against Rebirth getting this is it's the middle part of a trilogy. And like I mentioned in the best and worst of 2024 video, it's the middle part of a story. It's not quite an ending.
Sure.
It leaves on a cliffhanger. It's not a complete narrative within itself as much as it tries to be.
Mhm.
And I think that kind of holds it back, in my opinion, from being best narrative. So metaphor.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So metaphor is that so that's what you want to win, but is that also what you think is going to win?
I think it has a good chance. I've heard a lot of people talking about how good the story for Metaphor is, and it's really strong.
Yeah.
I think it's one of, and this might be recency bias, I guess. I think it's one of Atlas's strongest in terms of story, like and like most consistent.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I honestly, for this section, I actually agree. I think it should win as well as I think it will win. It is a original story that doesn't end in it all ended in a dream, which I think is a big important thing. But it is just a whole new universe that was created. And whenever you have a game that creates a whole new universe, I think that's really important. And again, I think that automatically creates a new narrative,
Yeah.
a part of it.
The characters are really good. The world and setting is really well thought out and interesting. And like it doesn't disappoint. Or you
Yeah.
could maybe point out a couple things, and be like, "Oh, that's a plot hole," but like while I was playing the game, I didn't really think of it because I was just and I really like the characters. These are some great characters, and it's not weighed down by like existing in the modern day.
Yeah.
There's no freaking sauna bath scene where the boys are trying to sneak in on the girls. I hate those. Every Persona game has them. Stop it. Anyway,
Yep. No, I think it's great. I think it's great. And again, I think it makes sense. On to the next category. You have best art direction. The nominees are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor ReFantasio, and something I'm definitely going to say wrong, Neva.
never say that wrong.
Say it wrong. That's good. There it is. Best art direction. And are you going to just be the broken record again? Is it just Metaphor ReFantasio? Do we just...
To be fair, I didn't play Black Myth Wukong. I
Yeah.
don't care about Elden Ring. I don't know what that last one is. Astrobot looks good, but it's
not gonna win this
Astrobot.
one.
We've seen it before.
Yeah, it's not going to win this one.
Metaphor, I like the look of it, and I like the designs of everything. I think they did such a good job bringing in unique perspective and voices and artists to work on stuff that like it's just so well thought out, and it looks cool and good. I think probably my biggest criticism for Metaphor in terms of art direction is I don't necessarily love the look of the archetype. I think they're way less interesting visually than like Personas. But that's a small thing in the grand scheme of things.
I disagree. I think that's a big thing in the grand scheme of things. But as far as in what I want to win, I again, we're Atlas fans here, if you can't tell, so I want it to win. But it's kind of like before. I think Elden Ring is going to win. Whenever they have a game that's like this, that just
They peaked with Bloodborne.
I'm telling you, it's just there are certain games that tend to win these awards, and as much as I hope it's not, if we're going for best, what I think is going to win, I do think it's going to win.
I think Elden Ring already had its year. Let it die.
Fair enough. We'll see if they agree with you. Next category is the best score in music. We got Astrobot, FF7, Metaphor ReFantasio, SH2, Silent Hill 2, and new game that we haven't looked at yet, Stellar Blade.
I have actually played 4 out of the 5 of these.
Okay, well,
So
take it away. What do you think?
To me, it comes down like what I would want to win would either be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 has a great score, but again, with like the same thing with the narrative, a lot of it is because of the original score being as good as it is. Final Fantasy Rebirth, kind of a similar thing. Honestly, Metaphor has a good score. It's an Atlas game. They make good music. But because of the less contemporary styling of the music, more fantasy vibes, I didn't like it as much as some of the other games. I think
Sure.
Persona 3 is still my favorite soundtrack.
Yeah.
With maybe Persona 5 also being up there. But like it just didn't hit all that well for me. And I might piss off the 4 Stellar Blade fans out there. It's just the music from Nier Automata. It sounds identical. And I think they got the same people. They very clearly wanted that it to sound like that, and it does.
Yeah.
But like they did over there better.
Sure.
And a lot of Stellar Blade just feels like a discount version of Nier Automata anyway.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna just go with Final Fantasy.
Sure. Okay. I think this one is either going to be crazy enough to say again, Astrobot or Silent Hill 2. I think Silent Hill 2 is the one that I want, and I actually think will win. I had to put a bet on it. Yes, it's a remake, but when you're talking score, I mean, you have all the different sounds that they had to newly record, and based off your words, from talking to you, it was amazing, and it felt very immersive. So I think Silent Hill 2 is going to be the one that wins this one, in my opinion. But any other thoughts on best scored music?
I want Final Fantasy to win. I think Stellar Blade has a strong chance because a lot of people are talking about how good the music was.
Sure.
I think it's fine. I'm in the minority. I think it has a chance here.
Okay, fair enough. We're gonna just skip best audio design.
No, actually,
best audio design. Let me go. I'm so sorry. Category best audio design.
Don't jip them.
You're right. I mean, there's true. There is a new game in this category, which I would have had a lot of fans angry if we skipped it. So, Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7, the newest saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Then you really want to talk
Silent
about
Hill 2.
Is it?
Silent Hill 2. The sound design is great. This is one of the, I don't necessarily want to say scariest games I've ever played, but it is the most like on edge I have been playing a horror game in a long time. It was really effective, and a massive part of that with any horror game is the sound design. And Silent Hill 2, they did a great job with it. I think it sounds fantastic. Like just the way they use the sounds and the different kind of like the ambiance they create within it. It's really good. I think it deserves to win. I think it has a shot at winning. I don't know. I don't really remember anything significant about the sound design of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I haven't played enough Black Ops 6 to care, but it's probably.
Yeah. I don't think Astrobot will win this one because based off of it being
your favorite game.
Well, it's a lot of rhythm. It's a lot of rhythm-based audio. So I don't think that it's going to win that one based on that. But because rhythm games are now very popular, but rhythm movement and everything like that, I don't think, even though it's good audio design, I don't think it's. And then best performance category. Yes.
Yes.
Best performance. Okay. Anatel from Life is Strange, Double Exposure.
The main.
Yes.
Sam? Chloe? I played that game years ago.
Damn.
Something like that.
I could be wrong. Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
She played Aerith.
Humberly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws.
Pretty sure she played the main chick, whose name I don't know.
Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2.
Sorry, he is wife murder games. Spoiler.
You always wife murder.
Spoiler for that 20-year-old.
That's
game.
what he played, the wife murderer. Melina Jurgens, newest saga Hellblade 2.
Didn't play it.
So, thoughts on who you think was the best?
I don't know. Star Wars Outlaws, nothing against her. It's fine. Whole game's mid. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Aerith. For those of you who know, plays a very important role in this part of the story, and I think she does a good job. She's really good. But Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, who plays James, pretty sure it's a much more subtle and I guess subtle performance. Like Final Fantasy VII is very anime and very like, you know, outward and whatever. Or Silent Hill 2, it's leaves a lot to like interpretation, and there's the quieter moments. A lot of like the story is told through like reactions and these very kind of cryptic dialogues. So I think I'm gonna give it to Silent Hill 2. I'm gonna give it to Luke Roberts. I think he did a great job, and he did all the like motion capture and whatever, and good. And it's a million times better than the original voice actor, who sucks.
Fair enough. I'm just going to give it to Life is Strange because of all the time I played Life is Strange. But yeah, honestly, I don't have any strong feelings about this category. Next category, innovation and accessibility. Call of Duty.
No idea.
Black Ops 6, which you have a battle pass. Is that accessible? Diablo. Dragon Age, The Veilguard. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaw. Basically, as Tin said, we have no idea.
I've played 2 of those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you feel like either one was more accessible than the other?
Nope.
Okay, great. Awesome. Good content there.
I don't know. I will say, just in terms of innovation and accessibility, good. Make games more accessible. More people should be able to play them. That's a good thing.
Next category, best ongoing game. We have Destiny 2, Diablo, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Thoughts on the best ongoing game? I already have what I think is the winner, which I guess I'm just going to say it. Fortnite is going to win.
I don't think Fortnite. I think Fortnite's been up in this category for every year since it's been made, and it's never won.
Yeah, it's going to win this year with all the new skins and stuff.
Helldivers 2 was massive. Had a drop with the Sony thing, the sign-in, but then they changed it. It was massive when it first released. And I think like that could give it a pretty huge edge. Fortnite, and also Fortnite's like, it's cool to hate on, which is dumb, right, but still a very popular thing people do.
But it's the best ongoing game. Helldivers 2.
Oh, I think I agree. I think it deserves it.
I think Fortnite really does.
It deserves it more than the game that won last year, which was Cyberpunk 20. Get ready for a rant, people. Which is not an ongoing game. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give them a trophy for fixing the broken game they released. Oh, but they released the expansion pass. DLC doesn't make it an ongoing game. That makes it DLC.
Yeah, it was not.
Where's Elden Ring? Why is that not on here as best ongoing game? That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It does not deserve that. I don't even hate Cyberpunk. I didn't even hate it when it released. But do not reward them for fixing the broken game that should have worked when it released.
Right.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know. But it's honestly, that points to, it's really bad, and this is just a different tangent, but it's really bad that all these games keep coming out. A lot of games nowadays, like Star Wars Outlaws is a great example. They're just broken. I understand if you say a release date, you want to release by that date. Make sure the game works, because it makes it where people aren't going to want to play the game if it's broken when it comes out. No Man's Sky, I feel like, was a great example of this as well, where it came out and it was broken. And all of a sudden, now that it's fixed, people love No Man's Sky again. Like, I hear people talk about that game. I never wanted to get into it because it was broken at the start. So, like, make it where it's not broken, and then...
I made the mistake of looking it up. I was right. Cyberpunk won last year.
Yeah.
Against Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. How... It's not an ongoing game. It's a single player game they had to fix. I'm so mad about that still. It almost made me flip on Cyberpunk to hating it when everyone else decided that they liked it. Sure. It's not even good. They should have fixed it, but don't give them a goddamn trophy.
Literally
for
a
it.
trophy.
Yeah,
They literally
like,
gave him a trophy. Yeah.
that's the opposite message we should be sending. We should be like, good, you fixed your game. Don't release another broken one.
Yep.
Who? Anyway.
Yep.
That's been Justin's rant of the video.
Well, I think the biggest thing to developers is just release the game when it's correct. Don't release a broken game. That's not fun. Best community support category, which actually this has a game that I was just talking about, funny enough. But we have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I did not know that this was in the next category, funny enough, when I brought it up. But there it is, best community support. Which one do you think, which one do you want to win, and which one do you think will win?
I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I think the Baldur's Gate people were really good about listening to fan feedback and the patches. Like, their community support was really on point.
Yep.
I think Fortnite just in general has been pretty good for, like, in terms of like consistently high quality content that like the people who play the game like it's stayed this popular this long, like, because it's delivering.
Yep.
Helldivers 2, really popular, and they had the whole thing with the PlayStation sign-in, but they, took steps and they got rid of it. Like, they listened. We're like, okay, you hate this? Gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the whole thing where, like, it wasn't made super clear that it was, but whatever. And then, again, No Man's Sky. Like, this is something I could almost, like, if Cyberpunk had won this, sure.
Yeah.
And I think No Man's Sky, at this point, has gone past just, like, fixing what was a broken game. They fixed it and then they went above and beyond.
Right.
Like, they've gone further with that. And I don't think you had, pretty sure every, like, content update for No Man's Sky, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, has been free.
Right.
Cyberpunk, you had to pay for Phantom Liberty. Just saying.
He really doesn't like Cyberpunk. I
like the game. It didn't deserve that award.
Yep.
Against games that were actually on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think my personal pick would be Baldur's Gate 3. I do think it has a good chance just because of how massive it was last year.
Yeah.
But I could also see Helldivers or No Man's Sky getting. I don't know what the general response to Final Fantasy 14 is these days. I know there was like this one point where it was terrible, and they basically burned down everything they had and rebuilt it to something much better. I don't know how it stands now, if they've messed that up since then, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win. As someone who played it a lot, they did a lot of things for, I feel like, the fans for that game. And I mean, there were so many times, there's so many things that can happen in that. What?
I said all for free.
Yeah, that's true. All for free. And there's so many things that can happen in that game that making sure that every single scenario works is important.
Yeah. That game is just an achievement in terms of like replayability.
Yeah.
World interaction, character. Like, it's crazy.
Right. I'm honestly like, that's a game that I feel like could have been an ongoing, the ongoing game category. I wouldn't have been surprised. That's the one I want to win. I do think No Man's Sky will win though. I mean, again, I went on my little rant about No Man's Sky before I even knew it was in this category. So,
I think at this point they've earned it.
They have. I mean, they're really caring for their fans that paid. I mean, people were literally buying Xbox Ones back in the day just to play No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Like, just, it's incredible how it was one of like considered one of the biggest failures, and they flipped it. And then not only did they flip it, but they went, like I just said, they went above and beyond. They've really put the time and effort into this game and made it something special.
Yeah.
And that's better than what CD Projekt Red did.
Totally. I'm curious, when did the Xbox One come out? Because that's literally when like No Man's Sky it was. And it's like, I seriously, I had a roommate at the time who bought an Xbox just to
November 22nd, 2023. Or Jesus. November 22nd, 2013.
2013, and it's still getting worked on. This game. Okay, honestly, maybe I want No Man's Sky to win now.
I don't know if it's won any awards, but it deserves them.
It does. I mean, again, at least just kudos to them. kudos to them. It's important.
It was released August 9th, 2016.
Yeah. I mean, literally, people were buying Xbox. I had a roommate who literally bought one just to play No Man's Sky. Got it. Hated the game, obviously, when you spend $370. That's pretty crazy to play No Man's Sky, and it was pretty good. Now it
It
is.
has won best ongoing game twice, actually, for the Game Awards. It won in 2018 and again in 2020.
Good.
So it's gotten its kudos since.
But look at that. 2018 and 2020 it won it, and we're in 2024 and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, it's still getting
Way to go.
free updates.
Way to go, No Man's Sky team.
It'll be real awkward if I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. Best mobile game. You want to talk about this one? I feel like I can talk a little bit about this.
Well, the best one isn't on here, and it's Bleach Brave Souls.
Okay. So let's talk about this. Category best mobile game. Here are the nominees. What's not a nominee again?
Bleach Brave Souls.
Yeah. Okay. We have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card.
That's a mobile game?
Balatro?
Because that's one of the ones that's up for Game of the Year.
I wonder if it's like a game that can do multiple things. Yeah, I haven't played Balatro, so yeah, but that is. It is. The Pokemon Trading Card game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and then Zenless Zone
Definitely said
Zero.
that right.
What did you say?
I said you definitely said that right.
Thank you. I mean, it does say Wuthering. Not Withering, it's Wuthering. There's a U in there. I don't know how to. I mean, that's what it says.
Anyway, it was Balatro was really,
yeah,
basically.
Fair enough. I think the best mobile game, in my opinion, based off of the amount of time I put into it, is the Pokemon Trading Card game Pocket. And I know, before you go down to the comments and write down, yeah, you can write it. That's fine. Go ahead and write it.
Probably the best Pokemon game they've made in years.
It honestly, there's something about opening cards in a pack, but then not having to pay for it. Very important.
Like Pokemon card. I know it never went away, but for some reason it feels like it's come back in a big way.
It really has, and it's even because there were some new chase cards that they did in their newer releases, like the Pokemon 151 Scarlet and Violet like box set.
Heard about that.
They had some new like chase cards that came in that, and then even their new one that they just came out with has some. And so it really did kind of revitalize. But I also think like TikTok actually helped it a lot because people were doing pack openings on TikTok. And that is actually kind of brought back.
I've seen those like live ones where they're just going. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
They also, I know I've told you this, and I've shown you this, but I work I work in grocery stores. Not a big deal. Not important. And there's like vending machines for Pokemon cards now that are like these big. I'll put a picture on the screen. Big blocky things where you can. It's literally a vending machine for Pokemon card packs. It's crazy.
It's just becoming a thing. So, anyways, the mobile version of the game. There is something about just opening it up and then you get this amazing card. It's very cool. And I can tell, I mean, they're doing it like what they're going to be doing for regular Pokemon cards, where they're going to release different sets. Right now they have the first set out. Then they're going to come out with another one. And I'm sure they're going to put a trading mechanic in the game.
Battle pass?
No, I mean, no, there's not going to be a battle pass, please. No, otherwise I'll delete it. Don't do that. I mean, there's like premium where you can open up more packs, but you also don't have to pay to open up packs. You can just open 2 free a day. So
I think
2 free a day.
Since it's up for Game of the Year, Balatro, whatever
it's probably
that's probably.
I don't know. It depends on how it plays on mobile, right? Might be a game that
for best mobile game, I assume. Well,
that's true.
It's also like I looked at the description. It's like a roguelike poker thing.
Interesting.
Card based.
You know what? Maybe I'll try it out. That sounds fun. As I play so many games. Next category, best VR/AR game. We have Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow,
that one,
Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Who would have guessed in the same year as Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, we would have gotten an actual good Batman Arkham game for the VR? Wasn't on my bingo card.
Okay, here's my question. Did you think that the game was going to be good on VR?
I didn't. I was disappointed. I was like, because I first saw like a trailer for Batman Arkham Shadow, and like nowhere like in the thumbnail or in the title was it mentioned that it was Oculus, and then you start seeing it, and it was like a cinematic trailer,
Right.
I think too. So like, there's no gameplay. It's like exclusive for the Oculus. I was like,
Yeah.
for one, I don't have one.
Right.
For two,
He stole his brother-in-law.
I did, gave it back.
Oh yeah, borrowed.
True. But it's good. Like, I still haven't finished it, but it does the mechanics, it does the combat, it does predator missions. It's got an interesting story. There's this whole section where a lot of the game has you going into Blackgate Prison undercover as a famous disguise Bruce uses in the comics all the time, Matches Malone, and you get to like it kind of experience some of the story through that, like in the it's really good.
How's the voice acting?
It's the same voice cast from Origins.
Okay.
So it's obviously not Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace. It's Roger Craig Smith, voice of Sonic the Hedgehog sometimes, and Troy Baker and Harley's in there. It's good. It's an Arkham game. It really is an Arkham game.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope we get an actual, just regular console Arkham game.
It sounds like the rumors are, and it's been talked about, that like Suicide Squad sucked so hard that Rocksteady's like, okay, we gotta go back to what we know. Then they're working on another Arkham sequel.
Thank you. Please never do the Suicide Squad again.
You got some goodwill to earn back.
Never do Suicide Squad again. Game was so bad. Okay, next category, best action game. We got Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Dosido, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Your thoughts?
I haven't played it, so I'm going to say that one.
What did you say?
I'm going to say Warhammer. Looks good.
Because you haven't played it? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think Stellar Blade deserves.
Okay. And what about Helldivers 2? You were talking earlier about how great of a game Helldivers 2 is.
Yeah, it looks fun. But I think Warhammer, I haven't played either, but based on the gameplay I've seen of both, Warhammer 40,000 looks more interesting. Sure. And I know that the Warhammer like universe is very diverse and interesting, and there's so many like aspects to it, and I'd be more interested to dive in that than Helldivers, I think, at this point.
Sure.
And Stellar Blade wasn't that good.
Man, Stellar Blade fans are not going to be happy.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Helldivers 2, I guess, is what I'll put my vote in.
This is wild. Sorry, the next category, best action adventure game.
Yep.
The options are Astrobot, Prince of Persia, Star Wars Outlaws, Legend of Zelda, Silent Hill 2. Classic action adventure game, not psychological thriller horror game. Silent Hill 2. That shouldn't be there.
It's going to be The Legend of Zelda. That's kind of, in my opinion,
I think
Legend
Prince
of Zelda,
Persia.
Echoes of Wisdom. Those Zelda games are so good.
It looked good, but I think for like an action adventure, because that seemed more like almost like a puzzle game with how the mechanics worked.
It is, but there's also still have combat, and you still have. I mean, it's still an adventure.
We're talking like you're there for the action, something like Prince of Persia,
right? But
or even like,
I think it's the slash adventure. I think it's the slash adventure here that makes it where I think
Star Wars Outlaws definitely does.
Yeah, it might win it though, just because of that.
No, I don't think anyone cares. Nobody played Outlaws.
That's fair.
That's Outlaws, and I think Outlaws is Ubisoft is trying to get Steam to like hide player counts because nobody played Outlaws, and they don't want people to know that nobody's playing their games.
Sounds great.
So I'm gonna say Prince of Persia. You're going with Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
And because we haven't played either of those, we're doing those for both.
Yep. You want to do the next category?
Best RPG. We have Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of Whatever, Final Fantasy, We Did It Again, Like a Dragon, Look at All Our Money, and Simile Read. Let's see, I couldn't think of
What did you say?
The metaphor I said simile, but then I couldn't think of a way to flip Refantasio. So whatever, those are the games.
Simile Refantasio.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is why I script stuff. Everyone should know that by this point.
Yes.
Metaphor, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Gonna be metaphor. It's should be metaphor. It is metaphor.
Yeah.
Question mark?
I think so.
Can we just call it now?
Yeah.
And the 2024 Game Award winner for Best RPG is Metaphor Refantasio. Fantasio.
Refantasio, I think is how you're supposed to say.
There it is.
Who knows and who cares?
There it is. My phone's not loading anything anymore. So.
Oh no. Max's phone broke. That's why you don't buy Apple products. Anyway.
Loading now. How dare you?
Best fighting game. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Rising. Dragon Ball Sparking! Exclamation point 0. All caps. Capcom Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. Rolls right off the tongue. Multiverses. Tekken 8.
Definitely not Multiverses.
I don't think it's that bad, but it's also not that good.
It's not the best fighting game for 2024.
It's definitely not the best fighting game, but like it's not terrible.
And no, I mean, yeah, we're trying to get the award for the best, right?
I haven't played any of these besides Multiverses, but my money would be on Tekken. I think Tekken's or Marvel vs. Capcom.
I was gonna say Marvel vs. Capcom.
I want that. Yeah. I'm not gonna pay full price for it, but I do want.
I think Marvel vs. Capcom is gonna be the one just because it's classic. Nowadays everything's going back to vintage remakes, all that type of stuff.
I think Tekken 8 could take Tekken's like there's Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and then right below it's like Tekken, I think.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. Next category, we have Best Family Game. We have Princess Peach Showtime, Astrobot, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. I hope and I want and I think Super Mario Party Jamboree is going to win this one. They actually did a Super Mario Party again, like the old Super Mario parties. Can we just keep doing that? And can we please just do an expansion of more boards? What's
some of it's too slow.
Okay.
Some of the mini games are too long.
Some of it might be too slow.
Stop making us look at every dialogue. Don't make me do 15 minutes of gameplay doing one mini game to get a buddy that gets stolen immediately.
That's how the old ones were too. The old ones were that way as well. I remember
the mini games are like that.
Dude, I remember my family, we would sit down and play on N64. Mario Party 2 was the specific one we had. And it took forever. It took so long.
Did the mini games take forever?
Yes, some of the mini games did.
How? Were you guys doing them wrong?
No, some of the games just take a while. And some of the games in Super Mario Party Jamboree are fast, but some of them are long, but it's actually fun. Like the survival games, I like doing the survival games.
I think they go on too long. And I think, like, to be fair to the game itself, that's genuinely been my issue with the last few Mario Party games is there's so much wasted time.
Sure.
Like, I think it was the one before this where, like, on the last turn, you would go by a store and be like, sorry, store's closed. You don't need to do that. Just skip the store. We know.
Well, they did that in this game, though.
A wasted dialogue. Yeah, and it's getting better. But they also kind of took a step back with the mini games being too long.
Yeah, whatever. I can say the ally mechanic in this game, though, I'm not a huge fan of.
Because it'd be better if they couldn't be stolen.
Well, if they couldn't be stolen, and also if there were more of them. It's like you can play like a 15-turn game, and there's only 2 total in the entire game. And it's like that just doesn't.
I do like the fact that they each have their own unique individual abilities.
And cool. Own an individual mini game, which is kind of fun too.
If they were shorter,
I like them.
They're too long.
I like the long games.
Wario makes you. Who is it? Wario. One of them makes you do like an entire quiz show.
Yeah, that's Wario.
Too long.
It is a long one,
especially because it just repeats the same type of question at some point too. But now there's more options.
It's true. I will say the best one though is the Luigi minigame, and that one's long, but man, it's fun. It's intense. Anyways,
it's fine.
Do you think Super Mario Party? I gave my opinion. What do you think is going to win?
I mean, I'd like Mario Party to win, but I could see Astrobot winning and Legend of Zelda. I mean, it's Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
It was kind of surprise release.
That's fair. True. That is true. Okay, moving on to the next category. We have best sports / racing.
I mean, you play sports games. Do you have any opinions? They finally make a good WWE game again, or
well, okay. Actually, so for the category, Best sports / racing game. How is college football not in this category?
A real sport.
It has been years since there has been a college football game. This is the first game in literal years. How is it not in the running? I don't understand. I don't
You
understand.
got to do the 15 millionth NBA game.
Yeah,
And
2K25, which I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if we're talking about it, that's the game that's probably going to win. But it's
They're
frustrating.
like Call of Duty at this point, where they don't have to improve because they're just the same. Like,
well, they have a money system too. The
they have a very
VC
casual
coins.
audience. Like,
What'd you say?
people, it has a very, like, sports games have a very casual audience in a way that a lot of other series don't, because it's like people that don't play a lot of video games, but like they like football or basketball, and they
Right.
just grab whatever the newest one is and like play with their friends every once in a while. It's that kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, I'm frustrated that the college football games, to be honest.
Yeah, let's riot.
Yeah. Next category is best multiplayer game. We got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K. Space Marine 2. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm so sorry. What do you
See,
think
I
is
did
gonna win?
weird voices and I didn't apologize. And I won't. Anyway, Call of Duty I think has a strong chance. It's Call of Duty.
It's gonna be Call of Duty.
I don't know.
Whatever you're talking about. Best multiplayer game. It's gonna be Call of
I don't.
Duty.
Helldivers 2. Call of Duty's been getting a lot more flack.
Not
but-
this one though. I don't feel like I've heard a lot of flack for this.
I haven't really heard that much about it at all.
Yeah, but
I
that's a
have
good
played
thing.
it because it was free on Game
For
Pass.
Black Ops, that's a good thing that you haven't heard about it.
I
People
guess,
like
but
talking about
for
Black
being
Ops when
the
it's bad.
one of the biggest franchises in gaming. There should be more word of mouth about it.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. I'll give you that. I think it's for Black Ops, it's so hated on and has such a cult following that if it's not talked about in a bad light, that means there's something good about it.
Well, Black Ops always makes me feel like a boomer because it's like one of the series where I'm like, yeah, it was actually better. Like the older games were
Dude.
better. I'm not that way about a lot of
So fun.
series, but like 1 and 2 is like I think where the series peaked for me personally.
It was so good.
It was great.
We played it so much. So fun.
We did. It was awesome.
was-
That being said, I have played Black Ops 6. I don't know if I can really speak about it as a multiplayer game because I don't play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like I would play with you, which we haven't done yet.
Maybe we will. Let us know down in the comments if you want us to play Black Ops 6.
Actually, I kind of really enjoyed it when I was playing it, specifically because you can now play in third person in zombies.
Cool.
Love that. It's really fun. That being said, to download the stupid game,
Did it like take like all
Well,
your space?
I had to download the Call of Duty app.
Oh, of course.
And then from there I had to download Black Ops 6.
Yep.
And then I had to download specifically the multiplayer and the campaign, which can both be downloaded separately for some
Why?
reason. I don't know.
You need to choose to delete them?
You can't because I try. You have to. In order to play zombies, you have to download the multiplayer one.
But
Actually, I don't know if I
do you
downloaded
need
the campaign. I don't remember. But like, and it's just, and then like, because when I first downloaded it, it was like, oh, here's the suggested ones. And like the total amount of gigabytes it would have taken up if I had done all of the ones they suggested, which was also like Modern Warfare 2. I didn't want to play Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
I want to play Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
It would have been 232 gigabytes.
Oh my.
Kiss my ass, Activision. I'm not doing that. I'm not downloading any game for that.
Honestly, I wonder if like the same people who own Activision also own like the, the extra gigabytes
yeah,
of RAM and stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like
They're
it's
in
like
cahoots.
yeah, exactly. They're like, make your games as big as possible. I saw a video where somebody said that the maps were like so much took so much space. And it's because if you like go out into the horizon, you can see another map that's on it for some reason.
Yeah, it's just poor optimization.
Like they didn't
and
cut
it's
it.
such an issue at this point. Like Mortal Kombat 1 is like 150 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I don't love that game. But a big reason why I don't play is because I don't want it on my console.
Right.
Because that's too big of a file for a game that's okay.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So
And
yeah,
it's a fighting game.
get it together.
Why does it need that? I don't.
Get it together. Get it together. All these games need to get it together.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Next category, best adaptation. We have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza.
Yakuza. That was horrible.
I knew I said that wrong when I said it out
loud.
Tomb Raider, The Legend of Laura. I thought it was Laura.
Lara Croft.
Lara
You
Croft.
almost made me say it right. Wrong. Lara Croft.
You did say it wrong. Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
I hate that you did this.
It's one of those things when you're reading it, you're like, if you could just had to say it out loud at the beginning, it would have been fine. But reading it, you're like, wait,
Lara Croft. Laura, yeah, whatever.
Lara Croft.
She's British.
Lara Croft. Anyways,
Arcane. I haven't watched any of the other ones, to be fair, but I really like Arcane.
I can say from I love the Sonic movies, and I'm very excited for the new movie with Shadow that's coming out. Man, great! The trailer looks so good. But Arcane is a masterpiece. This guy over here told me to watch it. I watched
Several
it
times.
and it was quick once I started.
Yeah,
it's such a good show.
You can't not. I told you to just get through the first 3 episodes and you'll be hooked. And I was correct.
Yep.
Like I am about everything.
I don't play League of Legends. I've never.
You don't need to.
Never even thought of it. You don't need to.
In fact, I think it's more interesting not because you don't like the spoilers for Arcane Season 2. If you haven't watched it, go away. When Vander comes back as that werewolf monster thing, that is a champion called like Warwick. Yeah. And like I don't know if this is actually the case, but if you know about that champion, maybe you expected that or like
you knew it was Vander already.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know. I don't care.
I believe that's true. I
think like knowing about the lore, you kind of like you kind of know that certain characters have to end up in certain positions or they're going to end up a certain way. Like Victor, I think like his final form, that's what he's like in the game. I think. I don't know. I don't care. Don't comment. Actually do comment.
He is like that in the game. I looked into it a little bit and yes, there's a lot of people that had that, but for people that played the game, why they loved the show too, because it was really exciting for them to see their characters and to see them like come about, if that makes sense.
Good story that works on its own. You don't need to be a League of Legends fans to enjoy it because it's just it's really good characters. It's really good artwork. I like the music.
Love the music.
I do agree with the criticism that season 2 feels a bit rushed. The pacing's a bit weird. It wasn't enough to like ruin it for me. I do think it would have been better off with a season in between, or at least like stretch that out to 2 seasons to give stuff more time to breathe. Also, it's fine.
Yeah,
we're gonna get more.
I think there's I mean, the universe is gonna expand, right? There's gonna be 3 more shows that are coming out. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm excited to see what they do next.
I don't think the stories of these characters are all done. I think for some of them it is, and so if you're really angry about some of those characters, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said all the dead ones.
Yeah, all the dead ones, but there's some that people think are dead.
Vander's probably dead for real this time.
What'd you say?
That Vander's probably dead for real this time.
I think Vander's dead. I think Victor's dead.
I don't think they're dead because they disappeared. Him and Jace.
The creator came out and said that they were gone. That they're not going to be in any of the other shows, at least.
Well, never mind.
But
why they make it vague?
When somebody said Jinx, for example, on that same with the creator, he was like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, like even within the show, the way that they like immediately hint at it with what's her face, like it was pretty obvious.
Well, there's actually, if you pause it, I'm now just talking about Arcane. If there's a moment where you pause it and the frame after when the explosion happens at the end, there's a little like flash, and she has like the super speed.
Yeah.
There's actually a flash.
Okay, that also leads into just the animation is that so and good. Spider-Verse are some of my like. I love how they're pushing. I love animation as a medium. It's kind of maybe my favorite. I don't know.
Right.
We don't need favorites, but I think there's so much potential within animation, and I really like that it's being treated more and more seriously as an artistic expression. Like there's always that old school mindset that anything animated is for kids.
Right.
And I think that's stupid. Because Arcane is not.
No, not at all.
Really good. Like it's like even my mom, who's like, she kind of has like she doesn't usually get into like animated stuff.
Yeah.
But she was deeply invested in Arcane because it's just really good character and like it looks yeah.
Yeah.
Arcane's good. My choice.
Bet.
I think
Yes.
Fallout could take it.
Please no.
I think the actual true answer is Knuckles, obviously.
Obviously.
Nothing else really stacks up to that.
Next category. The most anticipated game. And we're going to end the video with this category. The most anticipated game. We have Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Ghost of Yotai. I hope I said that right. Grand Theft Auto, of course. Metroid. What? What was that look for? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Monster Hunter Wilds. I think Grand Theft Auto is going to win. I don't want it
Grand Theft
to.
Auto is obviously going to win.
I want Ghost of Yotai to win.
Out of these 5, that is my choice.
Yep.
Ghost of Tsushima is amazing.
Yep.
One of the best open world games I've played. Great.
Yeah.
It.
I played a little bit of it.
Have you?
Yes.
Good.
Great game.
Great. I think they're making
gifted
it a movie.
Yes.
Hope it's better than Uncharted. I didn't watch it.
Uncharted, the movie.
Yeah. Was
Wasn't
it
very
bad?
good.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I'm
very
not
good.
surprised. Fucking Mark Wahlberg is
Mark
terrible.
Wahlberg. Okay, Mark Wahlberg is literally the same character in every single movie or TV show, except for comedy ones, which
he's still just Mark.
I don't know. Like, I feel like he was different in Ted, for example.
I've never seen.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe you should watch Ted. It's not that good.
I don't like 90%. That's McFarlane's.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't watch it.
10% is American Dad.
Mark Wahlberg is slightly different in that. Anyway, so all that being
This
said,
is not relevant.
I think Ghost of Yotai would be, I hope, is the one that wins, but it's going to be Grand Theft Auto. Am I wrong in saying that's going to be Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto's. I was gonna say it's overrated, but I don't necessarily think it is.
I don't think it's overrated
because it's good at what it does.
Yeah,
and it's massive for a reason. I personally don't care about Grand Theft Auto. I never finished 5. I got tired of driving to a location to pick up somebody to then drive to a different location while the two characters like talked and got interrupted every time I hit another car, which was often. And then you do like a short mission where you have to do it exactly the way they want you to, or you fail.
Right.
Or you fail for something dumb, and then you get back in the car and drive back to another location. There's a lot of crap that I don't care about.
I liked, so funny enough, I actually liked Grand Theft Auto 5. I liked playing it. Played the story fully through. But once I was done with it, I was just done with it. And for everyone else, they like went to the online, Grand Theft Auto Online. No, thank you. I've never wanted to. I understand they did more missions and more stuff. I don't care.
Dr. Dre's in it, I think.
What did you say?
Dr. Dre's in it.
There, you know what? Well,
cool.
Actually, now I'll play it. No, I seriously, it's not. I think it's an overrated game based off of there's just a cult following for the online fan base of it, and I understand the game looks like it's going to look beautiful. That's awesome. I hope it does.
I hope it's good. I want it because like Rockstar and Red Dead Redemption 2 is way better than Grand Theft Auto 5 if we're being real.
Yeah.
And like it's held up so well the last however many years it's been out. It's a fantastic looking game.
Yeah.
They do, I personally think, go a little bit too far and like, oh, you gotta clean your gun so it fires right. If you don't, it's gonna. I don't want to pretend clean my gun in this video game. That's annoying, but it's still a very good game. Great story, and I think like Grand Theft Auto 6 very much has the potential to push gaming forward in the same way that the other Grand Theft Autos have.
Yep,
like
I agree.
The Grand Theft Auto 3 kind of like set the standard for open world games at the time on the PlayStation 2, and I think like Rocksteady, maybe not Take-Two, the company that owns them, they suck. But Rocksteady themselves as developers are talented and they've done such great work and it's gonna be good. I just might not care.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I think it's gonna win it based off everything you just said, and it probably will, but that's not my most anticipated game.
My most anticipated honestly isn't even on here. I guess this doesn't necessarily mean that it's most anticipated game of next year, does it? Because is Ghost of Yotai even coming out next year?
I think it is, yeah.
I'll look that up.
I could be wrong there.
My most anticipated game of next year is either going to be the Resident Evil that they hopefully announce at the Game Awards,
sure,
or a Bleach game called Bleach Rebirth of Souls, the fighting game. I really want it to be good. It looks pretty good.
He has talked to me about this, and he does hope that it's.
You told me to make a short where I was like, "Oh, most anticipated game of next year," and
Yep.
like set it up like it's gonna be Grand Theft Auto, but then it's this Bleach game that no one cares about but Bleach fans.
I did.
Yeah,
I did tell him to do that. We'll see if he does it.
I won't. It's too late. Yeah, no, that's mine. Do you have any that aren't?
No, I mean, I hope that no, not really. Honestly, I'm in this weird spot where I'm not able to play games as much as I want to, and so there's a lot of games that I'm anticipating playing that have already come out. You know, Metaphor, Fantasio, and different stuff like that. So,
Oh, I got here. Here we go.
what's up?
Gonna be your game of the year.
Okay.
Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Okay. If you don't know, it drives me livid that Nintendo has not come out with a new Donkey Kong game. Even if you give me Donkey Kong 64 remastered, why is there not a new Donkey Kong game? They're coming up with a Donkey Kong Land in Nintendo World. He's in the movies. Why are we not focused on a Donkey Kong game? Nothing announced. Nothing coming out soon.
To be fair, I think with Nintendo, there's an element of they're not gonna force it.
It is not forcing at this point.
I know,
it
but
has
like-
been how many years?
No, I just mean like they might just be waiting for a good idea, something to do with it. I don't
Donkey
know,
Kong
man.
64 remastered. There you go. That's easy.
They'll get there eventually.
I mean, they're literally making all these other games, all these remastered games. We have
Well, they just
Super Mario RPG remastered. Make Donkey Kong. Just make Donkey Kong. It's fine. It's fine. But yes, that is my most anticipated game. Whenever a new Donkey Kong game is actually announced, let us know what your most anticipated game is down in the comments.
Yeah, some other shout outs. Little Nightmares 3.
Oh, thank you.
Co-op
Yes.
Little Nightmares. The one that's made by the people who actually make Little Nightmares. Reanimal.
Yes.
Looks sick. The new Pokemon Legends game is supposed to come out next year.
The
I don't know. Legends
Megas.
Arceus was the last good Pokemon game. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So that could be something.
I think New Megas is fun.
And yep.
Yeah. So let us know if any of those games are your most anticipated, or if you have one that we didn't even talk about. Right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
coming. And there's probably some that haven't even been announced yet.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be tons, especially towards the end of the year like this. So make
And the
sure to
Game
comment down
Awards.
below. Let us know. Also, let us know what you want us to play on the channel. We always look at your comments and and take those seriously. So let us know. And then also like and subscribe. We've hit over 1,000 subscribers. So please keep on subscribing. Like that is a huge achievement. So we're very excited about that.
We've been working on this channel for a long time. Mostly as a way to just like play video games together and talk about video games. But it's cool that 1,000 people decided that was worth subscribing to.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, and we will see you guys in whatever we do next.